Hey, what's up? My name is Tyson Brown and I want to welcome you to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. This is Australia's top health and fitness podcast to help you lose weight, look good with your shirt off, feel confident in your body, and finally achieve the goals you want with your health and fitness. So 5 days a week, I'm going to be giving you top information from myself and also from leading experts in the field so you know everything you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. From nutrition to mindset to workout, everything is covered in this podcast and you need to go nowhere else. So like I said, it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, in your ears with quick actionable segments that you can implement straight away, because the most important thing is that you can put these things into play. Also, if you listen all the way to the end of the episode, you're going to get 2 special gifts that you can download upon listening to it. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to get those free gifts, okay? So let's get into the episode. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Tyson's Fitness Tips. And today, I'm going to be talking to you, carrying on from what we talked about yesterday. So I talked about how you have to set a certain amount of time where you're going to go hard, you're going to go on diet, and you're going to restrict yourself for a certain amount of time. Like I told you about before, for me, it was a 8 to 12 week cycle of being able to cut down some stubborn belly fat and lose 16 pounds. And then from there, what I was able to do is I was able to have 2 weeks off, all right? 2 weeks over in San Diego, go and enjoy myself, kind of just take the rails off a little bit, add a little bit more food in. And basically what happened during that diet break is I gained about 1 kilo. Now, most of it was just water weight, because after when you're cutting calories and you're eating pretty lower carbohydrates, lower food in general, you're just gonna be lighter. So when you do go back to like a maintenance phase, which I'm gonna be talking about in this video, it's just naturally gonna happen, okay? So don't get stressed about that first of all. Now, the reason I want to talk about this today is because you need to have maintenance phases in your life. And the reason it's so important is because you can't be cutting your weight all the time 24/7, like for the rest of your life until you lose all the weight, because when you are restricting, you are putting stress on your body. And when stress goes in your body, there are certain hormones that go up, certain hormones that go down, certain hormones that get out of fluctuation. Basically, hunger is going to be increased, stress levels are going to go up. What's going to happen is you're going to get, like I said, when the hunger levels are increased, your leptin is going to be, you're going to become leptin resistant. And there are a lot of problems that happen. So we want to be able to avoid that. And that's why I talk about setting a dedicated period of time, being able to go really, really strict. So in my case, I went over, I decided I was going to lose some fat and look good for this photo shoot. And after I think it was about 10 weeks, I decided to have a diet break of 2 weeks. Basically, I went to San Diego and then I had the week off, just not worrying about diet, and I went back to my maintenance phase. Now what this does is this reset my hunger signals, first of all. This signaled to my body that I was no longer in a stressful period. This also helped me just live a little bit easier and like take the stress off my mental load of constantly obsessing about tracking all my calories. And I felt good, I felt full of energy. And having that little break allowed me, after the 2 weeks, to get back into it for the next couple of weeks, where I'm gonna go really, really hard and get back into it again. And you need to have this in your life, okay? Because you can't be dieting all the time. So what you need to do is you need to think about a certain amount of time after 8 to 12 weeks that you are going to have a diet break. Now on this diet break, it doesn't mean you eat whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't mean you can go and go crazy and put back on all the weight. A diet break simply means that you go back to maintenance calories. And when you go back to maintenance calories, that means you're eating a little bit more calories, you can be a little bit more free, and you just basically live life for a couple of weeks. Now, I would say between 3 to 6 weeks is a good period to stay in maintenance. Basically, it just gets your body into a reset mode, it gets you feeling good again, it gets you psychologically ready for another diet phase if you've got to try it again. Because what's going to happen after, I said yesterday, after 10 to 12 weeks, you're going to have to reassess and see where you need to go. Do you need to lose more weight, or are you happy where you are? Like, it depends on where you want to go. And so if you're happy where you are, you stay at maintenance from then on. But if you're not happy where you are and you need to cut some calories, you still go into a maintenance phase first, and you stay at that maintenance phase for 3 to 6 weeks, and you just let your body reset, readjust, You take the stress off your body physically, you take the stress off your body mentally. You can go out and have a couple of drinks, you can go out, you can socialize with the family, you can go out, you can hang out with your mates on the weekend and have that pizza if you want it. You don't go crazy with calories, you simply just take that diet period off. And then after the 3 to 6 weeks, then you can decide what you want to do next. Are you going to go into another period of dieting, or are you going to stay in a maintenance phase, or is it time to bulk up and go and do some extra calories? So it's really up to you what you want to do. Basically, what I have done is I'm going back into my cutting phase because this photo shoot's coming up, and I've got to focus on getting lean, which means I have to eat a little bit less calories again for the next 2 weeks. And then after the 2 weeks, then my diet is fully done and I can go back to my maintenance. So for you, to be able to figure out your maintenance, what you need to do is you need to figure out how many calories you're eating at the moment. So let's say if you're eating, 1,700 calories a day. I'll give you an example. If you're eating 1,700 calories a day, which is pretty low, but if you're getting into that deep depth of the diet, and then all of a sudden you're going to go to maintenance, you're going to increase your calories by 10 to 15%. So I would start at 10% first, and then you see what happens to your weight. If you're still losing weight, you increase it by another 10%. And then you wait until your weight stabilizes. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna go from eating 1,700 to maybe 18, 90, so 10% is 170, so maybe about 1,900 calories a day. If your weight's still dropping, you bump it up to 1,000 calories, to 2,000 calories. And then that way you've got a little bit of extra room to play around with and have some fun and just enjoy yourself. And so you stay at that maintenance phase, which means your weight will be the same for this period of time. And all you do is you just simply follow your macros. You keep your protein the same, which is 2 times your kilograms in body weight, and the rest, 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. And the rest, everything else, you just choose what you want to have, more fats or more fats. It's up to you, but that's all you have to do. You don't have to go crazy, and you just enjoy yourself. Have that maintenance phase, add a couple more beers, add a little bit of extra pizza, whatever you want, and enjoy it for the next 3 to 6 weeks, and then you decide what you need to do there. If it's going to be back in a cutting phase, you then, from that maintenance phase, you take away 10%, and then you go in from there again, or 15%, and you go hard. And that's how you do it. When you have that break, I can guarantee you are more likely to stick to your diet on these 12 weeks because you know there's going to be a break period coming up. You're more likely to get better results because you're not having your body on a constant stress after a 12-week period. Because like 3 months, that's a long time. And if you're constantly doing that to your body, you're just gonna be fucking yourself up for the long run. So you need to make sure you have that diet break. But remember, when you have that diet break, your weight is gonna go up by a little bit simply because you have more food in your stomach. You're gonna be eating more carbohydrates or more food in general. What that's gonna do, that's probably gonna bump up anywhere between 2 to 5 pounds, which is like 1 to 3 kilos. So don't stress if that happens, but make sure your weight stabilizes. If it keeps jumping up week to week to week, then you know you're no longer in a maintenance phase and you're eating too much. So then you need to reduce that by 10%. But mostly, if you increase your current calories of what you're eating at the moment in your deficit by 10 or 15%, you shouldn't be above maintenance. You should be you should be in that pretty solid spot, and that'll be the best thing you can do in order to kind of just give yourself a break in and reset. And you're going to be so much more motivated to get back into it if you need to get back into it again. Like if you need to do another 12 weeks or another 8 weeks, or in my case, just another 2 strict weeks of dieting, get in there, get it done, and just focus. Then you can go back to staying at maintenance for the rest of your life if you want to do that. Like if you lose fat and you look good with your shirt off and you're happy with where you are, stay at maintenance. But if you're like, you know what, I want to bulk up now, go and do that. But then you have the decision. So think about this in chunks. Just be like, all right, for this certain amount of time, I'm going to go balls to the wall. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to keep my calories low. Remember, you can still have the food you enjoy in your diet. You just can't have as much when you, especially during this calorie restriction. And you got to think about what's going to be the most filling thing for you. I know that clean foods are more filling for me than just having any of my 80, when I have my 20 approach of whether it be a couple of pieces of dark chocolate or a halo top or anything like that. It's just not that filling. So figure out what's going to be the best thing for you, and then you can go from there to make sure what's going to be the most successful thing. But honestly, you need to put this diet break. Do not think that you're someone who can just power through this all the time, because you might be mentally powerful up here, but then what's going to happen if you keep going and going and going, you'll probably be good during the week. Then on the weekend you might fuck up a little bit, but then so you might not lose weight that week, and then it constantly feels like you're in diet mode all the time, but you're not getting any results, and it's simply because your adherence is dropping and it's just going to get harder and harder. So before that comes up, you set yourself that period of 8 to 12 weeks. You go hard and you stay in that calorie deficit, even on the weekends. Once you achieve that, then you can decide what you want to do from there. After that 12 weeks, you have a 3 to 6 week maintenance block, and then you decide what are you going to do from there. Are you going to keep cutting weight, or are you going to stay at maintenance phase, or are you going to go into a bulking phase? And that's going to be the best decision you can make. It's going to make you feel fresh. It's going to mentally relax you. It's going to take that mental fatigue and stress off you. It's going to take the physical stress off you, and you're just going to feel so much better. I mean, hey, if we can all enjoy a little bit more pizza, that's so much more beneficial, right? There's not much more to it. Don't get overcomplicated. Don't try and go longer. Don't try and go shorter. Just follow exactly what I said. 8 to 12 weeks of dieting, 3 to 6 weeks of maintenance, then decide what you're going to do. Are you going to do another 12 weeks? Okay, then you can fucking go hard for 12 weeks. And that's how you can make your diet long-term, successful, and keep the body you want. Now remember, if you have any other questions, make sure to comment below or make sure to reply and let me know, because I will be answering these questions every day and I'll be speaking to you in the next episode. See you later. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. So now you've listened all the way to the end. That means you get some free goodies. So what you can do is you've got two different options, or you can take them both. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet and a high protein 20 recipe meal guide designed specifically for you in your situation. These meal plans and this intermittent fasting guide is designed to help you burn stubborn belly fat and get in the best shape of your life. So all you have to do is go to the show notes, click on the download link, and they'll get sent straight to your email address. It's as simple as that. They're completely free. They're going to help you transform your body. So go to the show notes now and download your free guides, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.